Welcome everyone to another episode of Downtime. I'm your host DX, and this time around we are joined by Derek Vasconi on the top right, bottom left is Colin Johnson, and bottom right is Mette. Welcome everyone.
Thank you.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, so
We're
what have
back.
you? Yo, welcome back, Colin.
Uh,
It's interesting to see the
Hello.
dynamic of you joining an episode and having to skip an episode and joining an episode again. It's pretty funny actually.
yeah, it's a little weird. It just works out at me because I'm just busy every other week and I can't make the regular time. But it's fun that way, in a way.
Yeah,
I do
exactly.
miss it. I would love to do it every week, but it just doesn't work. But it has interesting energy. I like it, but I don't want to set a precedent. But it probably will be. But
That's okay
yeah, I
though.
love it. I love it here.
That's okay
Glad.
though.
I want
Hey.
to talk about things.
So
Hmm.
what has been going on past week? Anyone wants to start?
Many things. Why not talk about what happened today?
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, something happened today.
Wanna go in?
Yeah, I want to go in. Funny enough, we almost wanted to do an episode yesterday because Mondays usually work.
Exactly.
And if we had done that, we would have missed out on something that was released today, the 24 single by NMB, with Yoshida Karin as the center, and I like this.
Ooh.
I like it. I would even say that it is my favorite by default.
Uh-huh.
With default being quite important. I just like it. I like it. I was a bit hesitant because
Uh-huh.
usually, graduation singles
Yeah, exactly.
don't tend to work out. Sometimes they do, but maybe that's just me personally.
Hmm.
But I was digging it. I don't love it, but I was really digging it. It started out great, had great energy. I like the MV. Don't love the MV, but I really like the MV.
Uh-huh.
Akarin was fantastic. Miru in with the blue vest and
Oh yeah.
black skirt
Oh
with
wow.
red flowers. I love that outfit. Favorite outfit
Mhm.
of the year. But yeah, I was digging it. There was nothing. I just liked the MV, what it was doing, but there wasn't particularly anything in the MV where I'm like, I love that part. I just liked it as a whole.
Mhm.
And the song, yeah, it started off great, great energy. I don't think it's the sketchiest thing ever,
No, no,
but
no.
I was digging it. I was like, hey, I like this. I like this. I was surprised by myself. Yeah, I'm content. To me, this is solid. I really like it. I'm like, yay,
Awesome.
something to like. It's been a while, so that makes me happy.
Meta?
It felt very like it fits Akarin. It does.
Oh yeah,
It's so her. And I love that for her for a graduation single. And it's not really sad, it's more like it's uplifting the way
Mhm.
Sayaka's was. And I agree, I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Mhm.
And I can watch that MV again and just go, I'm gonna miss Akarin in NMB.
mm,
Yeah, I can imagine that. For me, it's the same actually. The song itself has a bit of a graduation feel on it. Like, it has a bit of a graduation feel on it. In the past, there was a song by Vitamin and was called Graduation as well, and it really has the same vibe to it for me. And for the MV itself, it really plays into the strength of Akarin as a makeup artist, which she is actually in real life as well, along with the entrepreneur with her own clothing line. So it's more like it really it really played the strong points of Akarin for me. And on the second place is Miru. She's always stunning. So,
oh yeah,
but then again, it's not hard for Miru to be stunning.
no,
So
that's
Derek,
true.
you want to elaborate?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, what you guys said is all very much in keeping with what I think they were trying to go for with this MV.
Mhm.
To have a little bit of a graduation feel, highlight Akarin, which was great. I don't know. I mean, obviously, music wise, for me, it's cookie cutter. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
it's some guy in a room making a song and giving it to them.
Mhm.
I think at this point, NMB as well as all the AKB families, they've just gotten to the point where like they're hiring out guys here to basically write their stuff so they can put out stuff, as opposed to like the innovative and creativity
Yeah,
that
true.
we saw 30 something singles in a row for all these groups
Yeah,
like at the
exactly.
beginning, where they had like one guy basically doing it. Because like I actually was talking to somebody about that here the other day.
Uh-huh.
Like like somebody who works, very closely with AKB, and they were telling me that like a lot of those early songs was like one guy basically like having this great brainstorm of a like just a streak of songs, and he was like trying to put out like a lot of stuff, and it's a whole different feel and vibe when you have a guy like a producer or girl, but I'm just using the word guy just because it's easier. I'm sorry. But having a guy like, sit there and like really conceive of like an overall plan for a group and like their songs versus like literally what I've like I was talking about last week. They AKB's group, they'll hire out these guys
Yeah,
that
true.
literally sit in a
Uh-huh.
room and okay, part A, part B, we're
That's
done.
done.
And
Yeah.
like this song is like, again, it's not bad, it's good, it's not like crappy in any way, shape, or form, and visually it works completely. MV wise, it's exactly what I'd expect for an
Yeah,
Akron video,
exactly.
which, as you guys said, so it works on that regard. It's just boring to the point where like I in about 5 seconds of listening, I'm like, yep, this is stupid, I don't want to hear it anymore. Because it's just like it just it's again, now that I know how they make these songs, I'm really against how they do these songs because it's just like there's no passion to it. It's literally, here's $5,000, make us a song. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. There's just no heart in it. And so I'm not saying this doesn't have heart. I think whoever wrote this still was thinking of Akron in a way, but I feel like if you took out the fact that Akron's graduating and they were trying to give her a nod, this we would be saying the same thing that I'm
Yeah.
saying now about this. It'd be like, it's just another song.
Hmm.
So again, not bad, in the sense that like it's passable. It's definitely an AKB song, but it's also not contributing anything new that makes me interested in hearing it. And to be honest, like the most interesting part was the part in the MV where they weren't talking
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they weren't singing. She's just sitting there waiting for her buddies to come. Like I was like, oh, now if that's actually part of the song, that would be cool. Like a silent moment
Hmm.
where you kind of just have the girl on the stage or something. That could work actually. But that was just clearly obviously for the MV. So that's, I don't know, my two thoughts, 2 cents.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate because, well, the song is likable. It's not like I actually need to be. I don't. I will not put it on repeat, but if it's there, I'll just listen to it. But
Yeah, same here. Same
yeah,
here.
don't
Yeah.
expect me. Don't expect me to put it on my playlist on Spotify or Deezer or something like that. It's more like
Well,
if it's passes by coincidentally, I'll listen to it. But I'm not gonna actively look for it for me personally.
well, right. Also, I mean, look at NMB of the past. NMB was known for what? Like their club bangers.
Yeah, club bangers.
Like
Yeah.
they've got, I mean, again, like if you took off NMB's name with this and put, SKE, AKB, I couldn't tell the difference. Like it's just again, it's these guys writing these songs for these groups, and then okay, we'll use this song for NMB. Next song, well, we'll just start for NGT. Like the identity's not there. And so that's where it gets a little difficult for me to like accept it as opposed to just listening to it for its listening value. But
Yeah.
either way, like you said, like if it's on in the background, I wouldn't change the channel. Like
Yeah.
I'm like,
Exactly.
NMB, cool. Like, because it makes me think of Akron. I like Akron a lot. Like
Hmm.
she's badass. So, and
Yeah.
it's like
Exactly.
anything to support her, I'm gonna support. So
Hmm.
it's weird because like, and the reason again why it's just hard for me to accept this is like right now, for example, like I'm trying to produce two idols and a third group, like a third, like not an idol but an idol group, so two solo idols and idol group,
Hmm.
and the level of craziness I have to go through to actually do this is unreal, and it starts on the music writing level. Like these songs, like I have so much pressure on me to put out something that's new to the vocabulary of the idol world
Oh wow.
because I'm so against just writing cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah.
And I've
True.
been working with people that are giving me cookie cutter stuff, and I have to undo the cookie cutter part and redo the moments of goodness that they have in the songs. Like I've been getting demos from the people I'm working with where there'll be 5 seconds of the song that are just like it's unbelievably good, followed by 2 minutes of crap,
Oh
and
wow.
I'm just like, ugh. And so it's like I have to like undo all that. And so I just went through that today. I had to literally like I got an amazing demo with like a couple parts that like I could never in a million years write. And it's so idle sounding. And the guy who wrote it's actually a stage theater writer. He writes plays. And I thought this would be cool to get a guy who doesn't normally write idle songs to write this. And sure enough, I was right. He banged out something that's so different
Oh
and
wow.
unique. But then there's parts that are like there's a part in this one song where it's like a breakdown
Uh-huh.
and it starts off and it's like this breakdown's coming and I'm like, oh, like this is gonna be good. And then he doesn't go into the breakdown. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you
Oh
doing? Like
wow.
you have this perfect part that could like crush live. That would be, I mean, there will be blood everywhere on the walls, the ceiling, the floor. Kids will die on this part, and I want that. And well, not really, but you know what I'm saying. And like he didn't go into it. He totally missed the point, and he did it twice in the song.
Oh
And so
wow.
it's like I had to sit there for like 30 minutes and like undo all that and write him my examples using like YouTube clips. I'm like,
Oh
okay,
wow.
take this part and do this part in this song. And it's like that's these guys like they miss the mark so much, and like working with the dude who writes Nogi songs, it's been eye-opening to work with him. Although it's been fun because he's really been inspired by what I've told him.
Oh
Because
nice.
I had a really long talk with him.
Uh-huh.
Miho had a vocal lesson, and the guy from Nogi hooked her up with like this like super professional lady who's taught I think some of the Nogi girls and like some of the AKB girls. And this girl's great, like she's really wonderful and she's really been helping Miho a lot. And like while like me and this guy, like we went to the vocal lesson and like we were waiting on Miho because I didn't want to be in there while Miho was working because I was like, just go do your thing, like
Hmm.
it'd be weird
Yeah,
to have us
exactly.
both in there. We went and had lunch and like we were talking and I was telling him about my feelings about it. It's like I'm telling you guys. And he's like, Derek, I totally understand. He's like, I'm a jazz guy. He's like, I love jazz, but these guys, they want this type of song and like the innovation doesn't matter to them so much as putting out this type of they just need songs because at this point like with AKB not doing anything, you know what I mean, like
Yeah, I
it's just
gotcha.
it's been dead here.
Hmm.
Like they just need songs to keep trying to generate some kind of income. And but he like I'm like, well, don't you dare do that for Miho.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
you better write her like good shit. And he has been like he's been crushing it. And it's like but I'm giving him that freedom. And that's the interesting part about this is like if I didn't give him that freedom,
Uh-huh.
he would just like the original first version he sent me, like the first song, for example, and the second song, good, passable, different, definitely Nogi sounding, which is cool,
Okay.
but totally cookie cutter. And
Ooh.
so I had to go in and rearrange stuff. I like the first song we had to add guitar, which the guitar, even though it's still kind of cookie cutter, the guitar elevates it to something a little different.
Hmm.
We did a few little different breaks. Every section has something new added, like an instrument of some kind, so that like even though it's following a type A type B like part A part B format, I wanted that. Um, I change it up so much in every part that like it'll be interesting all the way to the very end. And so I like that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And like he it's just eye opening to hear the NMB song and then what I'm telling you. Because NMB song was for NMB, but it was written by a guy similar to the guy I'm working with, who basically like, oh, here you go, and nobody at the NMB camp was like, yeah, this we should change something. No, they're
There's
like, all
no
right, this is
quality
good, thanks.
control. So
Yeah,
there's no.
exactly.
So that's
Well,
rather
it's just
unfortunate,
mm,
to be quite honest,
mm,
because it feels
mm,
like the songwriters are really pushed by management into a certain direction, but there's
they
no
are.
freedom. So if there was a freedom, it might spark the passion in the songwriters again, which will translate in normally a way better song than if there is a certain cage the writer is pushed in, basically. If I'm not
Well, it's
mistaken.
also you're right, but it's also to add to what you just said because that's a very good point. Is that these guys they haven't hired a genius. They haven't hired people. Like, don't get me wrong, the guys that are writing these songs, they're geniuses in the sense that they can churn out these songs like nothing. Like I
Hmm.
can't do that. And some of these melodies, every once in a while, they hit a hook that we'll remember, and that's great. But it's almost like how do I put it? They need to get they need to get like some Steve Jobs of the idol writing world into their camp. Like people that are like, yeah, like screw this whole format stuff. Like that's why Fukuon worked.
Yeah.
Fukuon does it follows part A, part B format, but it changes up so much, and there's so much cool stuff going on, and that hook is undeniable that it becomes a song that elevates above idol into something else. It becomes transcendent. And AKB, their first years, they had 30 something songs in a row like that, and it
Yeah.
was all because of this one guy. The writing team that did those songs, it wasn't even just one guy. It was a writing team actually. They really had this I take that back. It was one guy. It was this one guy who was like really he's crazy. Like the real guy that wrote like Everyday Katusha, Ogoe Diamond, all
Oh
that,
yeah.
he's insane. Like no, he's like mentally insane.
Yeah.
Like he has serious issues. But he puts out these songs that we all love and know because he had that moment of genius that very few people have in this life. That's why AKB songs are so perfect, and why when you go to AKB concerts, you want to hear those songs.
Yeah,
Why?
true.
Because they're moments of genius put out there. They're not guys you hire to write songs. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing it for that. He was doing it because he needed to do it. There's a huge world of difference. That's why the Chica world works so well, because there's so many of these guys that are starting up these groups. They need to do it. They don't, because it isn't like Chica World is like a profession you can make a lot of money on. Trust me, you
No.
make no money, but people aren't here for that. I don't feel in a lot of cases. It's more like let's make a group, but I need to express my guitar playing, but I don't want to do it in a band here. I want to do it through cute idols on stage. Or not even cute idols. Sometimes they're really ugly, but it doesn't matter. Like the prettiness doesn't even matter. What matters is like they're on the stage and they're crushing it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So,
So they really are dependent on the live, and that's where the whole
mm,
magic comes through. And if the songs are up to par with the live, then something magical happens usually most of the time. So that's how I view it.
at at the same time, I'm going to seg us very nicely into CGM, Chiang Mai. Now that's a case where they're taking some of these older songs and creating a whole new world out of it, huh? Because
Yep.
like just looking at that concert, I'm like, wow, you would think Corona isn't even a thing right now. Like, oh my God, what do you guys think about that? Like the new Melon Juice single?
Well, Mette, go for it.
Well, I really like it. This is one of those songs, and I've said before, it works in front of an audience. It's made to be performed in front of people who can be there and, have fun along with the song. And the girls they really did a good job on this. And they shine on stage, and the fans had a lot of fun. I was following people who were at the event, reading about what they were experiencing, and it was just magical. And I can't wait to see the actual MV on Halloween.
Oh, right. It's in about 11 days, right? When it's supposed to be
Yes.
released.
Nice.
Next
Nice.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Yeah.
hopefully a
Something
Halloween live
next
as
week.
well.
Yeah.
But I know there was a certain event for the MV. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so that's the concert footage that's out now. That's from the event. So they did a full concert with the first single,
Hmm.
and then they performed the coupling song Otona no Michi,
Oh, nice.
and then they did Melon Juice, and they did Darika no Tamani, and then they had like where they did Melon Juice, and then they were filming, and they were filming the audience,
Ooh,
and then
nice.
I think they did like 2 or 3 rounds of filming
Oh,
to
wow.
get like audience reactions.
Uh-huh.
So this will all be, or not all of it, but it will be in the MV that we're going to see.
Oh, wow. Really looking
Okay.
forward to that. Really looking
Makes it
forward to that.
interesting.
Mm,
Okay.
very interesting.
Colin?
And they're going
Oh,
to,
sorry.
they're selling
Yeah.
melons now. This is really fun because,
Wow, what?
so a part of the project for this single was that all the members had to grow their own melon.
Oh,
In like
nice.
they had to
Okay.
do it from scratch. And then
Oh, nice.
a couple of weeks ago, they announced they were going to sell a melon box set.
Oh, wow.
And it's basically like a big box with a melon in it and a
Okay.
thank you note from members.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
It sold out in like 10 minutes.
That's to be
Wow,
expected.
nice. Very cool.
Actually, that really is a nice parallel to back in the day with HKT, where they were giving out 100% melon juice along with melon pan to the public. Remember that episode from Odakake
Mm.
back in the day? It was a promotion for
Yeah,
melon juice. So interesting.
amazing.
Yeah, so interesting. They really are following the footstep of HKT.
They
Wow.
are, but they match HKT in, the song choices and the type of age group the members are. And Izurina has said, HKT is an inspiration for her,
Oh
watching
wow.
Sashi's leadership.
Yeah, exactly. So you think she hasn't got it in her to become the Sashi for CGM?
I think she already is. Izurina was someone wasn't really popular before she went to Thailand, and she
Uh-huh.
came. People were skeptical, but like happy because someone who can help and a person who was really known beforehand.
Uh-huh.
And she became such an important part for the members. She didn't get into like the super popular. She never was, but she's she's the supporting pillar of Thailand 48, or she's one of them.
Oh, right, right, right. Nice.
And I don't think Izurina is leaving the 48 group even after she graduates.
No, she's going to be something like staff or management probably because.
Probably, I think she loves them so much now, and she's given so much to the group of her love. She chose the songs for
Mhm.
this, and
Wait,
yeah,
is she supposed to be graduating soon,
no,
or?
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no, no,
okay. I was gonna say she better
no,
not. Like she worked so hard to get here.
she
Like she
did.
better stay, as long as possible.
Mhm. Colin, your thoughts about Melon Juice?
That many thoughts on the performance. I thought they had good energy, really solid performance. But other than that, nothing in particular. That's nothing bad, nothing good or nothing bad. Either. Just
Mhm.
I don't have much, weirdly enough. But maybe the MV will do it. Just yeah, they did a good job. I have nothing bad to say about that. I like the what Matt told about them selling melons now. It's an interesting idea. It's creative in a way. It's something else. It could be very boring. Here's a single. Bye. Thank you for buying. Buy our merchandise when you get out. Not that they do in particular. It's just funny. But so I do like that they add more with that. So that's good. I hope they do more like that. I think that's good. Just not the standard fare that you would imagine.
Mhm.
So I hope they do something with that. I look forward to the MV. I'm curious to see how it turns out, like with the audience included in the MV. I wonder if it's more of a video you see from a concert, but like official people have filmed it, and not like the people in the crowd.
Mhm.
So I'm curious. I see what it will be like. It's something that it hasn't been really done in a long time. I'm thinking I can't really particularly remember. So that makes it something else, at least in a long time. So that's good, I think.
Awesome.
Other than that, I have nothing.
Yeah, for me personally, the song threw me off in the beginning because I'm so used to the Anatai ni agatai melon juice, and to hear that in Thai, I was like, whoa, oh yeah, I forgot this is not Japanese anymore, so it really threw me off. But for the rest, I really enjoyed the song itself because not hard to mess up a song as good as Melon Juice, but the live performance, it was really enjoyable to watch, and they had the same energy as HKT back in the day, so all the props to him. So I'm really looking forward to the official MV for this song because yeah, it's supposed to be released around Halloween. So yeah, I
Mm.
really like it and looking forward to the MV. Derek, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you guys really nailed it. I don't have much else to say in that regard, except it's very fascinating to me to see like the video that we were watching with Chiang Mai in concert. That it looks, first of all, like it looks like I was transported back in time to the old AKB days.
Yeah.
I really like. I'm like, wow, is this AKB circa 2010 or like 2009? Like it, like the crowd is into it. They're waving the towels. I didn't hear the mixing, so I'm wondering if they have corona rules in place, because in Japan, like they don't allow mixing at a lot of lives anymore
Yeah.
because they don't want to
Streaming.
increase the spread
Yeah.
of corona. So I don't know if that could have just been the fact that the MV was focusing on, like it might have been a straight to from the soundboard as opposed to like a actual live concert. I don't know. I couldn't tell. Matt,
I
go ahead.
think, if I remember correctly, Izurina posted a video of how to do the mixing for one or two of the songs, but I don't remember which, and I don't remember if one of them was Melon Juice.
Oh,
But she
okay.
did like a big video because all the people who were at the concert were asked to get the Melon Juice, the
The
towels that you
towels.
have
Okay.
and you wave. And
Yeah, sure.
everyone was supposed to do that for parts of the concert for Melon Juice. But
Yeah,
I know she taught mixing to some people at least in Thai.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
If she's talking about mixing, then I'm assuming that must have meant the Thai staff allowed it. But the
Yeah.
interesting thing is, like, I couldn't tell, but that could just be my ears, though, too. In any event, it was just really nice to see like a large group of people supporting an AKB unit, and then it was just nice to see like in Thailand, like they're resurging and they're like reliving the older years. It literally feels like Thailand went back in time, and like you have all these groups now, so to speak. Well, not all these groups, but you know, like I don't know, Thailand just feels like the AKB, like the Japan of yesteryear, with AKB just coming up and the craziness surrounding them. And I just think it's hysterical that Ezarina is like kind of at the center of it. Who would have thought this girl, who was basically like a third tier member in AKB's group, became like the heart and soul of like Chiang Mai? You know, she got her own unit. It's just wow. And again, it goes to show you what happens when you do hard work. You know, because that couldn't have been easy for Ezarina. You know, move out of your country, learn a new language. I mean, I know a little something about that. So
Oh,
And
wow.
not
Yeah.
only did she learn a new language, she had to learn because you have the Thai that's in Bangkok, and then there's the Thai in Chiang Mai. That's different. And she
oh,
speaks the dialect of, I don't know if she's super good at it or not, but she speaks the dialect of Chiang Mai. So she when she introduces herself, it's with the Swadi Sao version of it.
wow, that's crazy.
That's
Like
even more
that,
impressive.
right. Well, that's to me, it's like if I went to Osaka and learned Osaka Ben, like it's impossible. I swear. Like I was actually talking about that today with somebody, and like we were talking about like how like you like there's some place in Japan, even Japanese people don't understand the Japanese people. Like if you go to Aomori, like
Yeah.
their dialect is completely. They might as well just be Gaikokujin, like you know, like foreigners,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's just that's how a lot of Japanese from Tokyo think of them as that, because it's like they can't understand them at all. So that's again impressive. Another thing to add to Isarina's already amazing life and resume and life journey. And I don't know, Melon Juice is a reflection of all that. That's why I'm saying that, because it's like that song was so powerful for HKT. Like when it came out, it put HKT on the map. As far as like, oh, NMB, you guys think you're cool? SKE, yeah, you guys are right. All right, well, check us out. We're amazing, and we have this song that's fun and crazy and live. Oh my god, live! I've seen AKB groups perform this live, like
Yeah,
during
same.
Takamina's graduation concert like weekend, and it was like
It was a
your heart
blast.
just
Yeah.
oh, dude, it's like just pounding. Like
Uh-huh.
it just works. It works. And like again, written by somebody who probably had that in mind, who was probably like, I'm gonna write a banger, and like he did. And it's fun too. It's very idle. Melon Juice. I mean, who would think to talk about that?
Yeah,
And yet
exactly.
again, it's interesting to see in Thailand. It's just like it just was written today. Like it's like the single that's coming out Halloween. It was almost like it never happened in Japan. It's only happening in Thai, and that's just amazing to me. Like I love again, it's BNK doing BNK's thing, and like really celebrating Japanese culture in a way that is just a beautiful thing to see outside of the borders of Japan. You know,
Yeah,
very
exactly.
cool.
So it was like when I first heard it, it was familiar and refreshing at the same time. So it was more like it's going to be a straight copy, or of course it's a straight copy because it's Melon Juice. But I really appreciate the fact they are able to put such a twist on it to make it sound new. Besides the whole language thing,
Mm,
and
me too.
then I saw the live, and it felt like this is the HKT, this is the 48 group I used to enjoy in the past. I've heard Melon Juice myself a couple of times live as well during the different concerts, and it was like, yeah, this is the feeling. It was a really nostalgic feeling on when the songs were written with a certain passion from the composer and the writer as well. So it's more like I just hope we can have those kind of song in the future as well, because right now it's really stagnating for me on the 48 group end of things for me personally, which is really unfortunate.
Hmm.
Mostly I find enjoyment in some of the coupling songs because they're allowed to be more experimental, but all the main songs they feel so cookie cutter, copy paste, or however you want to rephrase it, but it sounds the same to me lately, which wasn't always the case. If I take a look at a bit of the past, I really enjoyed Must Be Now from NMB48. That one was a real banger, and SKE had such song as well with Mario Emerald and such and the like. I really hope we can get those type of songs again. And for AKB in the recent past, we had hashtag Sukinanda, and in the way past, we had
Mm-hmm.
Uza, which I really enjoyed. So I just hope the future songs can be on a more higher level, since well they're not as well known as they used to be. So it should give more room for experimenting. And
Yeah.
I just hope they will take this advice, even though I'm just a fan and a foreigner. So I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully 2020 will be like a cleanser for them, and they really do something refreshing or something different. Something really new in a way.
Mm.
Where that they realize that 2020, you know what? For logically, we couldn't do that much. We did some things, but to really get back on track, which they still need, I think we had said that on 48 Talk a lot, even before this year, where they really should do something to get back in the limelight. Not that they are not in the limelight in a way; they're still that famous, but still something new, refreshing that really can get back with the public in a way. Something really. I don't like to use the word good. I hate that, but
Hmm.
something new. So because 2020 is an excuse pretty much for everyone.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much.
in a good way and in a bad way. Sorry, not sorry. But I really hope that 2021, if things go well, hopefully, fingers crossed, that they can really get back on their majestic golden track. Well, golden has already been done, but diamond track. Let's do
Yeah.
something else. Um, because not second golden period sounds weird to me. So the golden age, the diamond age. Though I think diamonds are better than gold, but other topic.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
but yeah, I hope they do that. But speaking of something, I want to talk about
Huh?
quickly and briefly. Uh, a group that we always talk about, always on our minds. They are cancelled currently. Del48
Oh,
Oh
from
really?
yeah,
India.
Oh, wow.
right.
Yeah, that happened. Really weird. That journey has been so effed up. I may not say it correctly, but I believe like last October, so like a year ago, they wanted to debut, but then they got hacked, I think, or it got postponed for whatever reason
Hmm.
because they couldn't get things in order, whatever those things are. I forgot, but they wanted to do, but then they didn't, and then something else happened, and then that one member appeared on the AKB stage for New Year.
Yeah,
It's like,
Gloria.
oh hey, a person, and we had those photos, but like they got postponed because stuff happened, whether it was them or outside of their control.
Uh,
But now, gone. It's
they're
gone.
pretty much
Uh,
disbanded.
yeah, pretty much. The only thing that I remember is that the members have still their Instagram accounts,
Hmm.
but it's now in the public. I also saw this message somewhere. It probably was on their own site, but it got retweeted on Twitter, where it's like, yeah, we can't continue to do it anymore. They blamed COVID for it, which understandable. I can get that, because they couldn't do stuff to get income, which they probably had very little of. But they had, don't want to say hype, but where there were members, they had the photos, the Nike, what was it, that we
Sponsorship,
talked
yeah.
about. But now it's like, bye bye. It's it's very unfortunate. Like I was interested in a way. Like I wanted to see their rendition of the AKB songs, where it's like a cover in a way, but basically what BNK has been doing, but more so because it's India, and I wanted to see if they were doing like Bollywood style. I
Oh,
was
yeah. That would be
curious. They
interesting,
had
yeah.
potential for sure, but as tends to be with 48 groups, new ones in Japan, but also foreign ones, it's a mess. And I think they had the biggest mess of them all. Not totally their own fault, because again, I think they got hacked at some points
Uh-huh.
where it's just unfortunate for them. It took, I mean, when was this? And I remember, oh, I remember now, Mumbai 48. That was a thing. That was when Yui Han was still the general manager and she had that live stream. It's
Oh,
like,
right, yeah.
Oh man, I forgot when that was, but yeah, it's nothing really came of Mumbai, that's for sure. But Dell was also something like for like a year. I can't remember the timeline exactly, but unfortunately, there's not much to it now. Maybe they will come back. I saw one tweet saying that maybe they will, but I don't know
Doubt
if
it, to be quite
that's valid
honest.
or
I
not. But
doubt it, though. I really doubt it.
yeah, it's maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
well,
Can't
it's a case of AKB expanding and not really having a plan for the
Yep.
expansion. And I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's just they just there was no way to support that. India is a much far different world culture
Oh yeah.
idea. Thailand works well because they've always been friends to the Japanese. They've always had like an appreciation for Japanese culture and whatnot. So it makes sense that it worked there versus like if you take this outside. I mean, that's why do you think, I mean, even in America it hasn't appeared, because it's just like the barrier, the cultural barriers can be really strong. Now, and what you said, Colin, like it's probably very true, like it was out of their control. But I mean, I think I called that the minute they said it, like, yeah, that's not gonna work. Like it was just like, yeah, I knew this wasn't gonna get off the ground, because India is that's a whole other beast. It's a whole other universe. And I'm not saying idol can't work there. I'm just saying it could probably work for like 10 people in all the billion population of India or whatever they have. Like it's just not gonna go out well. However, that being said, it would have been really cool to see Bollywood idols. Like I
Oh, yeah.
thought, I was just waiting, like, oh man, if they come out with like an ethnic song that's like really paying tribute to India's like Bollywood tradition, oh my god, that would be fun. It'd just be funny. It'd be funny, it'd be cool, it'd be interesting. Um, it would be great if they got like an Indian genius writer to be
Oh,
like, yeah,
yeah.
I get idol, like I'll do this, like, and like understood how to keep the flavor of Japan in it, but still blend it with the Bollywood. Because then you have something new there. You have something interesting, like something we haven't quite heard before. And yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. So bye bye. See you later. Whatever. We knew that wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, not to be negative,
Hey.
just knew it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of things either discontinuing or continuing in another name, under another name, past week we also had the final concert of Keyakizaka 46, which is now known as Sakurazaka 46, and they also had their first title under the new group's name, which is Nobody's Fault. For me, the sound
Sorry.
is slightly similar as Keyaki 46, but not as dark. It's more uplifting. And especially when you listen to Nobody's Fault, it's a really enjoyable song, and you can definitely have the feel of Keyaki 46 in it, but it's not as deep as it's a bit more on the lighter side for me personally. But Mette, how did you enjoy the first single?
Well, I liked it. I didn't love it. I think maybe it might have been because it was just as Kiyakisaka ended, and it's a little still sad to see, and it's kind of weird to just go straight into something new without really taking a break. But I really enjoyed the way they ended the song, like apart from the song itself, where they all walk out that big gate
Yeah,
in the
with the
video
sakura
from the
flowers. Yeah.
concert. That felt right. It felt like it was supposed to happen like that, and I think I want to reserve my full judgment until I've seen like an MV
Yeah.
for it, because it's still kind of weird. I'm not used to Sakurazaka yet, so I'll wait. But it
Colin.
sounded good.
Oh yeah, Colin.
Hmm.
Your thoughts, even though you just recently listened to it.
see AMV of it with English subtitles. That was fun. I couldn't, I saw that. I was like, oh, let's click on that. It's something extra. I don't know if it was officially released or not, but it was okay. It had a sound where I'm like, potentially I could get into this. The members they did well. Like I have nothing bad to say about them. Only bad thing I have to say is that I don't like the costumes. Just I don't like the color. Sorry.
Okay.
But that's me. I just don't like the color. But that's very as subjective as it comes. If they had my favorite color, it would have been the best outfit of the year. So, but I didn't find the MV that interesting.
Well, yeah.
Just not really that interesting. Other than that, I can see what they did there. Pretty much the lyrics were, it's no one's fault. It's not Tachi's fault. Don't look at Tachi. She didn't do anything. It was not Tachi. It's no one's fault. Don't blame her. Nobody is to blame except management for putting Tachi. It also, to make a very long story short, I would have on the whole Keyakizaka thing. It wasn't particularly Tachi's fault. She would be just the main face that you could subject her to the fall of Keyakizaka in that way, because it was, I've always called it Techi and Friends, because that's just how it felt to me. But I don't blame her for that. It's management doing what AKB is still doing, or even NMB is doing, with putting focus on one person. Murasei Sai announced graduation recently,
Yeah,
and
true.
Yoshida Akari announced graduation also in August, I think.
Yeah, August.
But yeah, there's no one in NMB in particular that really could do it except Miru, and the same could be said about all the other groups, where they should not focus on one girl in particular, because that doesn't work. I don't think. Because look at Keikisaka, didn't work. Though that's a very bottom of the line, saying, yeah, it didn't work, point, that's that's it, nothing more to add. But that's a little bit how I feel about it. I don't blame them, the members themselves. It's out of their hands in a way, but it's management. But let's see what this group does. I think that the name is a bit too long, but maybe that's me. But I don't know. Weird. I'm weird. It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. This is
going to
like
be a
No Way
meme.
Man.
This
I
is
can
gonna
see
be a
it being
meme.
like No Way Man, where we just quote the title of the song. Yeah, nobody's fault. No Way Man. Nobody's fault.
Oh wow.
You could get a meme out of this. But it's fine. It's fine. I don't know how well it did. I don't know what people have to say about that. But let's see what happens next. Sucks for plenty of people. I should add that about for Kea, for the members and the people who love them, the fans. It sucks. It's not a fun way to go out, but it happened. That's how it happened. There's nothing you can do about now. You could have done maybe, but not now. It's done. That's me being me. That's how I think. Yeah. But let's see. Let's see.
Just wait and see for you then, from what the direction is going to be. How about you, Derek?
Yeah, so like I mean, the song is pretty forgettable for me. Like I well, in their case, I always felt they took a different approach to songwriting. Again, because there was a team who wrote Fukuon. It's a guy and a girl who wrote it, I believe, and like they're pretty crazy. Like they're insane, and like again, I know some inside stuff about them that like if you knew, you'd be like, whoa. But because like they're just, you can understand why they would write something like that if you know who they are. And based off everything I've heard about them, it makes sense they wrote that. And like Silent Majority was written, I think, by somebody different. Futari Saison, I can't remember, but like those songs all had identity.
Yeah.
Past those three songs, I think Kea started to go downhill with everything. Although that's not to say that the songs they released after that were bad. They weren't like epic. They weren't to the point where you were just like, oh my god, like this is like game changing for Idol. And this is just basically an extension of that continuing of going downhill. I don't think giving the group a fresh coat of paint and changing up their system and all that is changing the fact that Techi's not there. They lost 90% of their like star power. The girls have all moved on. Corona crushed them as far as like stealing their momentum, along with every other big major idol group. Which that's Shogunai. You can't help that. But even that being said, some of the things that I've been finding out a lot is I do these interviews every month with idol groups as part of the Italian blog Idol on Chaos. Like they help me promote and support idols here, and some of the girls recently in these groups have been talking about how like Corona in a way and the only positive thing in a way has been it's culling the idol groups. It's like basically like there's so many idol groups now in Japan that like some of these girls will feel like what's the point of even being an idol because anybody can do it.
Mhm.
And it's like, before in the past, you had to audition, you had to really work hard. Now, like literally, a girl in Japan could wake up today and be like, I'm gonna be an idol today, and then by the
Wow.
end of the day, she's an idol. There's no barrier. So with Corona, it's kind of taken a lot of these idols that like basically have no group like no idea of how to work and
Mhm.
basically got rid of them because they're like, well, this is too hard, I'm not making any money, I can't do any shows, so I'm just not going to be an idol anymore. And in a way it's been weeding out like those that are serious versus those that aren't. In the major idol world, you're kind of seeing that as well because it's like AKB had a chance to really rise above this whole situation. They could have done a million different things to deal with what's going on, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And they went underground for a while in the sense like they were dormant, and now they're just starting to put out these cookie cutter songs. By hiring these guys in rooms that basically just write this stuff. They churn out 30 songs in a day because they don't care, and like um Sakurazaka, I think, is gonna have an issue with that. I think the fans of Kea, if I can say this boldly, will probably demand the same kind of originality and interesting feelings that Kea gave us with their songs, and I feel like they need a new Tetchi. They need something to keep them different from just being another AKB48 slash Nogizaka 46 slash Hinatazaka 46. Like they were different. They were very different, which is why like they rose up in our conversation over the past couple years from being a group we kind of paid attention to like somebody we talked about quite regularly. And will they have that? I mean, will the variety show that they have and like will it do it? I don't know. Like it's still too new to see if the fresh coat of paint works. But I just think if it's still the same old car and they don't got a new engine, it's still gonna drive slowly and not get you where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep, totally.
it's not bad. Like nobody's fault is it's as Colin says, nobody's fault. I mean, it is what it is. There's a cool part at the very end of the song, like the outro is cool. I like that. Like they're still trying to do something a little different. It still feels very chaos, which is good, but it just doesn't have a hook. There's no like bone crushing moment in it where you're like, oh my god, must listen. Like Fatari Saison had it. They had the
Yeah.
Fatari
True.
Saison chorus is one of the best choruses ever because it has an undeniable hook. Silent Majority is just it's a great song. It's not necessarily like a huge song in the sense that like it'll stay with you the rest of your life, but you're gonna remember it. You're gonna remember it because the hook there, Fukumon, game changing. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's like how do you go from that? You have to keep game changing. You have to keep getting one upping yourself. If you just write like normal songs, you're gonna go down. And so this is just a normal song. It's not bad. It certainly will work. It's a song if you saw him live, you could hear it sandwiched in between Fatari Saison, let's say in Silent Majority. It wouldn't be a bad song to have. But is it a song I'm gonna care about? Probably not. In fact, I can't even remember the melody now. Like that's how unmemorable it is. So it's just it'll be a good song for them live. I think live it'll be great, but I just feel like they need to go back to they need to hire genius teams that like are mentally stable enough you can keep working with them and can still churn out like great stuff because that's the problem here in Japan. Like so many of the great minds here, they got all this emotional baggage that's making them great, but that emotional baggage eventually becomes too much. They can't deal with it,
Mhm.
as is the case with a lot of the songwriters of AKB, Nogi, and Kea. That they're hard to work with. And so
Yeah.
that's
True.
why they were hired like a one and done deal,
Oh.
and that sucks because it's like no, just deal with whatever crap they're going through and like work with them because they're putting out songs that are, you know, people are dancing to in the streets of Shibuya like
Yeah.
they were last week, which was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever saw, you know. So cool.
Really wish I could have witnessed that because I'm so
It was
familiar.
amazing.
I am so familiar with music being played outside at random in Japan, and it's more like if you were listening to the Sakamichi series music all the time. It was like, yeah, this is enjoyable. I'm just gonna get a drink from the 7-Eleven, find a bench,
You
and
know?
just enjoy the atmosphere and look around
Yep.
people reacting to the music. For yeah,
I mean, yeah, like Matt can also attest to this too. Is like, when you go to Shibuya and you cross over the famous, crossing, and you go past Tsutaya and you go down that little, like, there's that little side street that'll take you up to like Dokenzaka and like
Mhm.
all the idol live houses. Like, it was there. I heard it, and like it was just interesting to see everybody from like the normal ladies, the salarymen, younger people, the store owners. It was like a freaking MV. Like, I was like, what did I just walk into? And they've been playing, they were playing it for like all week. And so, but that particular moment after the Idol Live that I had that day, it was just really, it was a cool, surreal moment. And
Mhm.
like, only in Japan, it
Yeah,
only
exactly.
happens here, you know, and that's, who wrote those songs? Some guy who actually had a point to write. And you can always tell. It's why, like, when Steve Jobs came out with the iPhone and then you had all these knockoffs trying to copy it, all
Yeah,
those
true.
knockoffs, they didn't last, did they? No, I
Nope.
mean, they disappeared because nobody could do it. Like, do you guys remember Zoom?
Oh
You guys
yeah,
remember what Zoom was?
Family Guy
The
joke.
yeah.
That's only how I know it.
The
yeah, Zune was like what Google's or somebody's response to like the iPod,
yeah.
and they were like trying so hard to like be the iPod. Yeah, that
Mhm.
didn't
That
last.
didn't last.
You know why? Because there was no passion, there was no
Yeah,
heart in it. It was
exactly.
just a knockoff. So there you go.
No, funny anecdote for me from Shibuya actually was on a personal travel. Besides idol music, I really like hardcore, gabber, that kind of music. And
Oh
I
sure.
was I was wandering around in Shibuya, and I heard this massive hardcore music party going on. I was like, where's this sound coming from? And it brought me to a random club called Club Flame in Shibuya. I got in. It was only like 1500 yen or so for a party till like I don't know, somewhere in the morning basically, and was like I was having fun, and it was just this random foreigner guy between all the Japanese people having a blast basically, and it's really fun. And sometimes it's more like anything can happen when you're in Japan basically. Even if you find something interesting, just chase it, find out what it is, and enjoy it. Is what I would do.
Yep. No, that's what you got to do. And I can't wait for Colin to go there because I think Colin will have an interesting experience in that same regard, like to be able to absorb all these places that we're talking about and just like I want Colin to have that experience too where like he's walking down the street and it's like, oh, there's AKB. Like it's crazy to, or you'll see like in Shibuya Square, like in front of Tsutaya, like there's a gigantic Eyes One poster
Yeah,
they for their single, and it's like, oh wow, that's like really awesome, like it just happens, man. It's just amazing.
I think Andy.
Hopefully one
Yeah,
day.
You will, you
I
will.
think Andy on Twitter visited that pop-up store. I'm not sure where it is, but he visited an IS1 pop-up store with all the merchandise basically.
Yeah,
So
I haven't been there, but I think I know what you're talking about. And yeah, like you get these pop-up stores too that they show up all over, and that's super
Mhm.
fun too. So yeah, I mean, one day.
true. In other news, there was also a big announcement on Twitter and on YouTube as well at this point. The HKT Theater is opening up again. And what it
Yeah.
Yeah.
boils and what it boils down to is they're going back home to the Fukuoka Dome, basically, or rather next to the Fukuoka Dome as well. So it's more like it was. I was so surprised because there were talks, but there wasn't an exact date of the opening. But
Mhm.
now the official date has been announced, and the HKT Theater is opening again on November 2nd. So really looking forward to
Nice.
that. Your
And I
thoughts, Colin?
heard, I heard something about that the members were doing many things themselves, like directing and managing all that with some help of staff. Did you hear that?
I heard I heard some rumors about it, yeah, but I'm not sure what they're going to do though.
But are
Something
they
I w-
starting a theater troupe or something?
Yeah, they're starting a
HKT?
Yes,
troop,
that
yeah.
was also something I
Yeah.
want to bring up. I saw it on J Showbiz, and I was like, I am interested in that. I want to see something of that because that's something that I can get into. But yeah, it's doing something I'm really interested in. Like I really think it's awesome that they will be doing more of the internal stuff themselves. If that's true, I think I want to say yeah, but I'm not 100% confirmed that. I just kind of saw it. But that's awesome, and I hope that that theater group that it will be doing will be something that I really can get into. It has the potential for sure. So I'm really curious. They're doing something. That's good. I think
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
good. Yeah, good.
But I'm glad they're going to be a bit more experimental as well, because
Yeah.
that's what we have been missing from the 48 group, and I'm glad HKT is going to be on the forefront on that. So it's really good to hear that.
Yeah, it's a good initiative of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meta, your thoughts about the new theater opening up?
I'm happy. It means HKT gets a. This is going to be a more permanent home for them.
Yeah,
It's
this is the
been kind of
permanent
weird.
home. Yeah, this is the permanent home. Yeah.
It's been so weird having them move every now and then, and the stages has been switching up. And I think this is good for HKT. They need the sense of permanency, especially now that Sashi is gone.
Mhm.
And I think Shige is back from being sick too, so that's
Yeah.
great news.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
She's awesome. So she will bring a
Yeah.
lot of
Cool.
hilarity back.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's really good thing from them. You know, that's awesome.
Derek. Derek, your thoughts?
Basically, sorry, I'm just making sure everything was okay with
That's
my
okay.
my computer's being weird. No, like, yeah, it's it's a good sign. It's a sign that things are returning back a little bit to normal, I suppose. We'll see how it goes. I wish them all the best. HKT's always been this boisterous, young, youthful group, and I hope that the fans will continue to support them in Fukuoka, and we'll see what happens. Let's hope it continues.
Yeah, really looking forward to visiting it again, because I've actually been inside of the old theater,
Yeah.
and I'm really curious about how the new theater is going to be. I've seen
Yep.
the previews on Twitter and on their YouTube channel, but still I kind of want to see it in person, since I've actually been inside the old theater. And I want to take pictures again of the members' pictures, which are always out there basically. So really looking forward to it. So perhaps it also was a blessing in disguise for me not going to Japan this year, because it has been delayed. It was supposed to open in spring this year, but then the whole pandemic thing happened, so everything got delayed and delayed, and it got delayed into infinity basically. So I'm really curious how it's going to be, because I visited the old Hawkstown Mall, and whilst the mall was enjoyable, it was a bit of a ghost town as well. There was nobody there basically, so and I still want to visit the new building as well, because I'm really curious about what has replaced the old Hawkstown Mall basically. So it's more like I kind of want to explore that area again, since it's now been redeveloped for the majority. So it's probably going to be way different than from when I was visiting 2 years ago and 6 years ago when I was visiting HKT48. So I'm really looking forward to it. So it's interesting to say the least. Let's see. Does anyone want to pitch in a subject? Because I'm out of subjects right now. Colin?
Anything in particular? No. AKB doing nice stuff in the theater. Some birthday events. Sorry, birthday performances. That's always fantastic. I love those. So that's really good. Not that many people. I don't know how many people can be there, but it's very weird. Because early on in COVID, they would still be sometimes performing, but nobody's there. So there's no response, which is weird. Fun for a one-off, I think, but it's really weird. But now there are people, and it's still like there's nobody there. It feels like it, which is unfortunate with the birthday events. But what can you do? They got I saw recently, like they got like papers or just a paper, and they have like the responses of when they say stuff, and that's fun. So instead of saying they just hold a piece of paper, it's like this is my response, which is
Oh,
very fun.
nice.
I like that. I didn't really see it well. It's just what the impression that I had. It's like I understood that was what they're doing, but I couldn't really see it. But I like that. That's fun. That's some interaction. You got to do something. So do it visually
Awesome.
with signs and
Mhm.
paper and words. But that's something.
Nice.
And they've been doing it well. I've been watching some of them. They're shorter as well, which is good. 2.5 hours is long,
Mhm.
but now an hour or so, that's really good. So I'm very happy with that. And other than that, one funny thing. Speaking about YouTube channels, yeah, that's another topic.
Uh-huh.
Many members will be doing YouTube channel. Last time when I was on, we talked about Jurina is getting her YouTube channel. Now an ex AKB member has released her YouTube channel, Itano Tomomi,
Ooh,
which I found to
nice.
be interesting. I coincidentally was looking at Shinoda Mariko's YouTube channel, and I saw that Itano Tomomi was there.
Oh.
They did like a cooking stuff, like 2 videos back to back, where it was Shinoda Mariko and Itano, and it was like, maybe they got the idea from doing that. And then I think it was like a month later from the video of Shinoda Mariko to, I say, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, where it's like, yeah, we have this announcement with Tomochin, and the day after, YouTube channel. She's been doing uh, a video a day, I think.
Mhm.
So we've been putting out stuff.
Okay.
It's fun. I love her, so it's really fun seeing her do stuff. Nothing that particular like what I said also the last time with Miru just doing with the baby changing the diaper. It's like, that's just funny. But so far I haven't seen anything particular where I'm like, yeah, but it's nice. I mean, it's something. It's really, in a way, I'm like, yeah, this is so dated doing something like this.
Yeah.
But it's something. I'd rather have something than nothing. More
Exactly.
with people that I love. Good in my book.
Awesome. Meta, anything you want to pitch in?
Well, they posted like the team uniforms today for the sports day,
Oh,
and
nice.
I suggest checking those pictures out just for the hairstyles on the members, because the theme this year is like kids sports day, and they look insane. Some of them.
Okay,
Nice.
now I have
Very cool.
heard about it, but I haven't seen it, and now I really want to. It's like the hairstyles are weird. I'm digging it. I'm like,
Okay,
okay,
I'm gonna
I
give
need to
you a
watch.
preview. So Gigi, the girl who won the Junkin,
Yeah.
she has balloons in her hair.
Oh wow, what?
Yes.
Okay, that's how it
And-
are. Okay.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Just check it out. It looks super fun.
I'm
Nice.
going to.
Nice.
That's good that they've been doing something that sounds very fun. I hope it goes better than last year. No, it was
I think it does.
fine.
It's going
That's
to be.
yes, with a little bit mixed, but there's something with the printers and the tickets that I remember now.
Oh
that
right,
didn't
yeah.
went well.
Oh god, yeah.
They
But
have already
most of
said it's going to be digital tickets this
Oh,
year.
okay. That's good.
So
That's good.
That's
So
good.
I hope
safeguarding
it will be better.
Mhm.
The rest of the
Yeah.
event was pretty good, I think. So I look forward to that. I want to see those costumes. I need to see those photos. I
Nice.
forgot. I didn't see it, so I need to. Gonna be fun.
One final thing I want to pitch in. Actually,
Mhm.
October the what was it? October the 18th, Sakurazaka 46 have aired their first variety show. It's called. Let me look up the name. Oh yeah, it's called Soko Magatara Sakurazaka, and it's it's the successor of Kayakita Kakadai. So I would say check that one
Okay.
out. And that's all I have to pitch in for finally. So I would like to give the floor to
Good
Derek.
that they have their own show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of
Oh.
dated now to have a TV show. I'm not sure. Yeah, Nogi has Nogi Saka skits, but other than that, I'm not too sure. I
Mhm.
think Nogi Eiko is still doing. But good for them that they still
Yeah.
have a TV show. That's more than AKB has and the rest of the groups. So good. Good.
Derek.
Yeah, I think
take
it's.
it away.
I think. Yeah, I think it's a good way to start off. I mean, again, like it's a good way to know members. Like everything that has made me love AKB came from the variety shows.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
for they really need to understand the importance of those because it takes, when you have 30, 40, 100, 200, 300 girls in a group, how do you give them identity? So that is very important. So that's cool. I wish that well. As far as me goes, like I mean, mine's more personal on the side. Like I've been really busy. Obviously, I'm going into Idol production, so I've been doing some other and also some stuff with Idol Underworld. I've been doing photo shoots. So like yesterday, yesterday during the daytime, I shot. Well, basically, I shot Nyota Aku, who is my all-time favorite idol. Like, if I was a fan, she'd be my Kamiyoshi of Kamiyoshis. And so I've been very blessed and lucky to work with her on a regular basis now.
Mhm.
Like, because we have a lot of stuff that we're planning to do in the future together, but
Nice.
this is the start. And she crushed it. I had we did a 2-day photo shoot basically, where the first day she was in like Harajuku, and I had her doing some crazy stuff there, which was really funny because people were like taking out their cameras and filming us because
Oh, nice.
Aku's very beautiful and also very interesting looking. And I had made for Aku, I made her she got a shirt, like a sweater,
Ah.
and I glued like 200 plastic like toy balls on it
Oh
that
God.
were all colorful, and like we were walking down Harajuku with that, and so yeah, she really stuck out. And it was funny because the balls kept popping off.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And, but Aku was like a really good sport about it. And then yesterday we did a studio shoot, and for the second half of the book where it gets like super crazy. And one of the shots I had, I put her in a zipped vacuum bag that you're supposed to put dry cleaning clothes in and suck out all the air.
Oh wow.
And I sucked out all the air and put her in it, and she was also pretty much naked because she really trusts me. Like, we have like a really good relationship. I mean, she did as much gravure as I'd ask her to do. And again, there was a reason for it. Like, it's a very symbolic shot. Like, the shots we got from that are so amazing and so beautiful that like it got me thinking, like, I want to start maybe thinking about doing like a photo gallery exhibition here in Tokyo for like art, because some of these shots are like they're above normal idol photography. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I was looking like Hirari's like recent
Yeah.
shoots,
Wow.
and I mean,
Yeah.
she's like one step away from AV, I swear to God. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's okay. I mean, I hope she does AV. Like, I mean, she's got the body for it and she's got the heart for it. And like in Japan, AV is not a bad thing. It's not a bad word. Like, it's like, oh, you're doing AV, great. Like, famous people do AV. It's not a big deal. But like if she did it, it would be interesting because like I think she's got like a really good mind for like herself. She's got an interesting look. She's a hafu, which makes it even more interesting. But she's also very comfortable with her sexuality, which I like. That
Yeah.
means like if you're comfortable with your sexuality, you're gonna be able to see that on camera. Whether you're being photographed or you're being filmed. And so that's why I'm saying that. But I think at the same time, like the pictures she's been putting out are great. And so in the same regard, Aku's very comfortable with herself. She's very comfortable with sexuality. She's got a great body. So like she was like, yeah, it's no problem. I'll do whatever you want, Derek. Like as long as it makes sense for the shot. And I explained the reason for it. She's like, oh, that's really cool. Like, yeah, I'll totally do it. She didn't just do it. She crushed it. And like
Wow.
Izumi-san, like Izumi-san's like for the vacuum shot, like I just suck out all the air, and then Izumi had to like take super quick shots because there wasn't a lot of air there.
Mhm.
So it's like I could have killed her, but she was like totally willing to do that. And like then the interesting was afterwards, Izumi-san came up with this great idea to have me open the bag and have her like crawl out. And those shots are like so sexy and so erotic, but so Aku. Like it's weird to say that, but like it made me feel like I can do anything with photographs. And so it's like I feel really comfortable now with what I'm doing. And Izumi-san, me and her have a really good flow now. And so we did that. And then we had Yuina from Mary Beta, and we had her photo book event last night, which that was fun. That was right after the photo shoot
Oh,
with
nice.
Akko. I went to the photo event, and a lot of people came out for it, like much more than I thought. And so it was a really great time. And like Yuina did such a good job with like keeping her fans happy. And then this morning, I had a photo shoot with Miho because one of the reasons why Miho wanted to become an idol is because we had talked before about her just doing a photo book because she's very photogenic. She was a J-pop idol singer, or not idol. She was a J-pop artist, and
Mhm.
so she was like, "Derek, can you help me do a photo book? Because I love your photo books." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And then she one day she messaged me. She's like, "Can I be an idol? Do you think I'd be all right for that?" And I'm like, "You're totally an idol. Like you have the look, you have the feel. You're super kind." But then she's like, "Well, I want to do something crazy for the photo book. So can you think about it?" So for like the past 3 months, I've been thinking like, what can we do? And then finally, we came up with the concept of Hulk-sized daughter. Like Hulk-size, the artist who did the Great Wave.
Oh,
Like in
right, right.
that
Mhm.
the Great Wave painting. He's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
done a lot of crazy, scary pictures. He's a phenomenal old artist from the ukiyo-e
Yeah, okay.
like era. And like I got the idea of visiting the Ukiyo-e museum, and
Oh,
it just
nice.
made me like think, oh, I could totally do this. But we want her to be like the long lost little sister of Hokusai's daughter. So like we started off today, like we went to Yanaka Ginza, which is like a really old fashioned street. It's small, but it's an old fashioned street from like the 1950s. It
It's in
just has
Nippori,
been
right?
yeah, exactly. It's like preserved in time.
Yeah, exactly. I've
And
been there.
well, what's great was like all the shop owners were really cool with letting
Uh-huh.
us film in front and inside. Like I just asked them, they were all really happy about it. We got so many great shots, and it's like very vintage. Like Mio was wearing a traditional kimono with the obi, and like we just got some amazing shots. But then like
Wow.
the second part of her photo shoot, we're gonna go to like an onsen, and
Ooh.
I have crazy shots. Like we're going like full out there, and like Mio totally trusts me. I've known Mio for like 6 years, so it's like we just actually I've known her a lot longer. What am I saying? Six, more like 10, 12 years.
Oh,
I don't know why I
wow.
just said 6 years. Yeah, I've known her a long time, and so like she's like anything you want to do, let's do. And I presented her with a series of ideas, and we talked about the Izumi-san today during lunch break, and like everybody's on board. So like I've been doing all this kind of stuff, and it like makes me feel like I want to do more of this stuff. Of course, it costs money. Like these photo shoots, $3,000-$4,000 a pop. Like I
Wow.
don't have that kind of money
Mhm.
really, but it's like I'm draining my bank account basically to do it, because it's like I'm having so much fun. And also working yesterday with Aku, like you don't understand. Like that's like one of my biggest all-time dreams come true, is to be able to do something artistic with her, because
Nice.
she, this is the girl that was in Kakrio Terra Architect that used to slap me in the face in front of the shows and like jump on my shoulders and hold my hand while she's going crazy on my shoulders. And it's like, she's just really had a profound effect on me in my life. And now I work with her, you know what I mean?
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
so I've been doing a lot of that. I'd say keep a lookout for all that stuff. It's all coming out. Like Aku's book will probably be out in December. Miho's book will be out in December probably. I'm gonna try to do like a double Christmas event. Also, one of the things I'm working on for next month is maybe every week I'm gonna try to start doing like online foreign fan checky sessions with different idol groups,
Hmm.
because we've been doing it with Mary Bad N every month. It's been like the last one we did over like 120 130 tickets. And
Wow.
I want to do more with different groups like Hanako-san, Last Question, like Odoro, like all these groups that I really love. I work with Aphrodite, so Aphrodite, Imomomo, like they're 100% on board. They're like anything you want to do, Derek, we'll do. Like it's cool. Just you just tell us when and where, we'll show up. And so it's like I really want to get these girls out there. I want to get Aku's group now out there too, because right now she's working with Benny from Evander and Friends. And Benny is very close to my heart. And she was in my documentary. Aku's actually in my documentary too, in a
Oh,
surprise
nice.
way. But I won't say how. It's very interesting how I somehow injected her into that.
Oh, wow.
Um, but so be on the lookout for that. And speaking of my doc, literally we're one episode away from being completed.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, we just got to add the subtitles, but that's actually not as hard as it sounds, because I have a really good girl working on the subtitles. The coloring, finally, I got that figured out. So Masa, my editor, is just finishing up like the history section that I have in one of the doc parts, and it should be done very soon. And then I'm working on the BGM music, so like all of this is like boom, 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 gonna get done. So very well, possibly could make my deadline of the end of this month. Which if
Oh,
I do, I'll be
nice.
very happy. We'll see,
Awesome.
but so far so good. But yeah, so be on the lookout for all of that. As far as like I said, next month, Mary Beden is taking like a hiatus because we're losing Honami, so we got to get new members.
Hmm.
So Yuina and Chihiro don't really want to perform live as a duo, so they'll be doing like the foreign fan session, the Checky session, to stay in touch with their fans. But like we're probably gonna not have any live, so I'll be focusing more on all these other groups, particularly Aphrodite. I have a crazy live schedule for them next month, including going to like Osaka and Nagoya again, which that's going to be fun. But we I want to be bringing a lot of like the Chica world to everybody, so just be on the lookout for that.
Awesome. And with that,
Okay.
we've come to the end of this week's episode. So I would say goodbye, everyone.
See you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Toodaloo. Bye.
Toodaloo.